The Bahrain Defense Force General Command announced that its air defense systems continued to successfully intercept massive successive waves of the Iranian terrorist aggression. Since the onset of hostilities, BDF forces have intercepted and destroyed 95 ballistic missiles and 164 drones directed at Bahrain. The General Command praised the exceptional combat readiness and operational excellence demonstrated by its personnel throughout this period, that affirmed that Bahrain's airspace remains protected. The public is urged to remain indoors and go out only when absolutely necessary, taking all necessary precautions. People are advised to stay away from affected areas and any suspicious objects, to refrain from filming military operations or debris sites, to avoid spreading unverified information, and to rely solely on official sources for updated and advisories. The General Command stated that the targeting of civilian sites and private property using ballistic missiles and drones constitutes a clear violation of international humanitarian law and the UN Charter, as these indiscriminate attacks represent a direct threat to regional peace and security. The Shura Council held its weekly session presided over by its chairman, Ali Al-Saleh. The council discussed a draft law ratifying the framework agreement on continuing or contributing to the financing of the second phase of the Sheikh Jaber Al-Ahmed Al-Sabah road development. They approved the draft law and sent it to the Representatives Council Speaker to refer it to His Royal Highness the Prime Minister in preparation for submission to His Majesty the King. During the weekly session of the Shura Council, its chairman Ali Al-Saleh expressed the Council's strong condemnation and denunciation of Iran's aggressive acts, emphasizing that they represent a blatant violation of state sovereignty, a serious threat to regional security and stability, and a grave violation of the rules of international law and the principles of good neighborliness. He affirmed supporting the leadership of His Majesty the King and all measures taken by Bahrain to protect its national security, safeguard its sovereignty, and maintain the safety of citizens and residents, while noting its legitimate right to respond in accordance with international laws and charters. Al-Saleh praised the keen follow-up and directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Prime Minister, in managing this phase with wisdom and competence, strengthening the readiness of various state agencies, ensuring the continuity of essential services, consolidating the foundations of security and stability, and preserving the security and safety of the homeland. The Minister of Interior, General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, inspected the homes damaged in the Jufair area as a result of the indiscriminate and unjustified attacks on residential areas and civilian targets by the blatant Iranian aggression, which endangers the lives of citizens and residents alike. The Minister was reassured of the residents' well-being and conveyed to them the greetings and keen interest of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa in the security and safety of all citizens. This stems from Bahrain's commitment to peace and its support for all that strengthens security and stability, affirming that the Bahraini people are peaceful and believe in tolerance and coexistence. He also conveyed to the residents the greetings and concern of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa for the safety and stability of citizens. He emphasized His Royal Highness' commitment to providing them with all means of support in all circumstances, noting His Royal Highness' directive for the government to undertake the repair of the damage to their homes. The Minister expressed gratitude to the police officers in all their posts for performing their duties with professionalism and dedication under these exceptional circumstances. He also praised the professional efforts of the civil defense personnel officers, non-commissioned officers, and enlisted personnel in dealing with the aftermath of the events and strengthening civil protection through their demonstrated dedication, professionalism, and courage within the framework of joint work with all police agencies, such as the National Ambulance Service, Traffic Police. He stated that anyone who betrayed their country and cooperate in the aggression against Bahrain by photographing vital sites and facilities and post the images on social media for use in the blatant Iranian attack on Bahrain is an accomplice in this aggression and will be punished according to the law. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdulatif Al-Zayani, received phone calls from international counterparts who expressed their solidarity with Bahrain and condemned the Iranian missile attacks on the kingdom. They also conveyed their wishes for Bahrain's continued security, stability and peace. Dr. Zayani received calls from Korea's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Cho Hyung, Romania's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Oana Toiu, and Croatia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Gordan Radman. The Foreign Minister expressed appreciation and gratitude to the ministers for their condemnation of the Iranian missile attack against Bahrain, which targeted a number of sites, including civilian objects and private property. He valued their expressions of solidarity with Bahrain and their support for the measures it is taking to safeguard its security and stability, and conveyed his wishes for continued security, stability and peace for their brotherly and friendly countries. The Minister of Education, Dr. Mohammed Jum'a, inspected a number of schools to review the progress of the educational process through digital platforms following the temporary transition to distance learning as a precautionary measure adopted by the ministry to ensure the safety of students. Dr. Jum'a reviewed the agreements made by schools to organize class schedules within the virtual classroom system, as well as the ongoing communication with students and their parents and the interaction between teachers and students. He also visited the visual communication-based classroom broadcasting center at Al Uruba Primary Girls School, where he commended the efforts of the educational and administrative bodies, as well as the ministry's relevant sectors and departments in ensuring the smooth continuation of the educational process. The Ministry of Interior announced that as a result of blatant Iranian aggression against Bahrain, 3 people were injured and a university building in Muharraq sustained material damage after missile fragments fell. The ministry also announced that Iranian aggression indiscriminately targets civilian sites and causes material damage to a desalination plant following a drone attack. The Ministry of Interior also said in a statement that as a result of the blatant Iranian aggression, a fire had broken out and caused material damage to a house and surrounding buildings in the capital, Manama, adding that the civil defense is taking action to bring the fire under control. The permanent representatives of the GCC to the UN in New York met with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres amid the Iranian aggression targeting GCC states. The meeting was chaired by permanent representative of Bahrain to the UN in New York, Ambassador Jamal Al-Ruwai'i, in Bahrain's capacity as chair of the 46th session of the GCC. Al-Ruwai'i, together with the representatives of the GCC, reviewed the latest developments in the GCC resulting from the Iranian aggression, which targeted civilian facilities, vital infrastructure, energy installations, as well as airports and seaports. Such acts constitute a violation of the Charter of the UN, international law, and the principles of good neighborliness. He also provided briefings outlining the scale of the targeting faced by GCC states, while affirming the full capability and highest readiness of the GCC's air defense systems to confront and neutralize the aggression. The public prosecution has warned citizens and residents alike against publishing or sharing any images or footage of the Iranian attacks, their aftermath, the response operations and locations, or security measures taken by the authorities, as this could undermine national efforts and put the safety of the community and the country at risk. It said sharing such images or footage is a criminal offence under Bahrain's law, and his liability extends to anyone who assists in any way. Anyone who circulates them by any means is treated the same as a person who created and published them, and is subject to the penalties provided by law. The public prosecution also called on the public to follow the instructions and guidance issued by the relevant authorities and to act responsibly in a way that supports the effective measures taken by state institutions to maintain security and ensure social stability under these exceptional circumstances. Now, in light of regional tensions caused by Iranian attacks, the role played by the Ministry of Interior's police media in conveying accurate information and raising public awareness is very important.
The role of the Ministry of Interior's Police Media Center stands out as one of the most important sources of information and a fundamental pillar in promoting community awareness, especially in light of the Iranian attacks targeting the kingdom. Around-the-clock, media teams continue to monitor developments on the ground and convey accurate information to the public through official statements and continuous updates, ensuring the facts reach citizens and residents quickly and clearly, and strengthening the community's trust in official sources. The center also plays an important role in publishing guidelines and instructions related to public safety, as well as clarifying the measures taken by the competent authorities to protect lives and property as part of ongoing efforts to maintain security and stability, while also working to counter the spread of inaccurate information by quickly issuing official statements and clarifying the facts to the public. This is done in parallel with continuous cooperation with various relevant authorities, which contributes to unifying the media message and enhancing public awareness.
The use of ballistic missiles and drones to target civilian objects and private property is a flagrant violation of the principles of international law and the UN Charter. Despite Iran's attacks, the BDF's air defense systems succeeded in destroying and shooting down enemy missiles and drones that targeted the kingdom. We have more in this report.
In light of its openly hostile approach towards GCC countries, Iran continues its blatant attacks through indiscriminate strikes targeting civilian objects, infrastructure, and private property in Bahrain, using ballistic missiles and drones, despite the condemnation of these weapons in war. These civilians are a clear violation of humanitarian laws and international conventions that prohibit targeting or terrorizing civilians under any circumstances. These blatant and repeated attacks by the aggressor are a clear threat to regional peace and security, a contradiction of the principles of international law and the values of good neighborliness, and represent a dangerous escalation that undermines the security and stability of the GCC, endangers the lives of families, spreads fear, and damaging the stability of global energy markets. In response to Iran's attacks, systems stand ready for these attacks with the help thanks to the BDF's advanced defense system and combat capabilities to protect its airspace, waters, and territory, and to respond effectively to Iran's brutal attacks.
Now, within the framework of promoting social stability and strengthening compliance with the law, the importance of strict adherence to the instructions issued by relevant authorities is highlighted for the important role in protecting lives and property. It also affirms that security and stability are a societal responsibility that requires the cooperation of citizens and residents alike.
In light of the changes and challenges facing the region, the importance of community awareness and national responsibility is highlighted through full compliance with the instructions issued by the relevant authorities, and not being swayed by rumors or any practices that may affect the safety of society, given that citizens and residents are partners in responsibility. Respecting and complying with instructions reflects a genuine awareness of the importance of preserving national achievements and ensuring the continuation of development in a safe and stable environment. The current regional situation requires a high degree of discipline and awareness, and a responsible approach to developments which reflects the image of a cohesive society capable of overcoming challenges. This commitment is particularly important in light of the changing challenges, as citizens and residents share the responsibility to comply with the instructions and the law to preserve the public interest and safeguard national gains. Absolute faith and complete trust in the efforts of the relevant authorities in the Kingdom of Bahrain and compliance with all instructions issued through official channels is a national duty that reflects the individual's awareness of their role in protecting the security of the kingdom, maintaining public order, and strengthening unity in various circumstances. Dear citizens and residents, when hearing the first warning sirens while driving, kindly do the following. Driving in the left lane to open the way for emergency vehicles, ambulances, traffic, security patrols to perform their duties. Listen to official media channels. Seek shelter in the nearest building or take cover in non-exposed areas until the danger has passed. Dear citizens and residents, if you are at home or at work, kindly do the following. Be calm, don't go out except for essentials, and as per instructions and guidelines issued by competent authorities. When you hear the second warning siren when the danger ends and situations are back to normal, the following procedures should be considered. Do not gather near affected areas for your safety and avoid hindering civil defense saving lives operations. Do not pick up objects thrown on the ground even if they are familiar to you.